class. So today we are going to learn how to use Google Sheet to enter simple data. Okay. Um, so let me explain what is data entry. Data entry is typically a type of like a clerical work that involves using various processes like typing and voice recording for entering data into computers. Okay. So now one of the ways or one of the tools we use to enter data is called one of the tools are called one of the tools could be a spreadsheet, could be entering the data into a spreadsheet or a word documentation tool. But for the sake of this class, we are going to be talking about spreadsheets. Okay. So why the use of spreadsheets? It depends on the kind of data you are entering. If it's it depends on the type of data you are entering. That depends on the type of tools you are going to use. If it's just like typing, like word typing, just like you're writing a letter or something like that, obviously use a word documentation tool. Example of a word documentation tool, we have Google Docs, we have Microsoft Word, etc. But today we're focusing on spreadsheets. Example of spreadsheets, we have Microsoft Excel, we have Google Sheets. So for the sake and purpose of this class, I'm going to be teaching us how to use Google Sheets. Okay, Google Sheets is just the same function with Microsoft Excel, but the difference is that they are owned by different companies. Okay, so there are major software companies that produces all these software products. Example is we have Microsoft. Microsoft is the name of the company. Then we have Google. Now these companies produce various tools which you can use. Um, Various tools which you can use for all of this data entry and other things. So Microsoft produced as Microsoft Excel, while Google produced Google Sheet. So they're almost the same function, but from different companies. Now the major difference between the both is that the difference mostly between the both is that with on Google Sheet you can easily share via email and other things. Like you can generate a link for that particular thing you have done, for that particular sheet you have done, and all of that. But both are amazing, depends on the one that you are good with. So, for the sake of this class, and another thing is that Google Sheet is more simple, like it's not very much complicated. It's not as if Excel is complicated, but Google Sheet is a bit easier, especially for a beginner. You can start with Google Sheet, then let's say you can go to Excel, or you can start with anyone. So, like I said, we are focusing on Excel. As a virtual assistant, you might come up with you might face the job of entering data for your company. For example, now the next question could be, how do we enter data? When do we enter data? When do we need to enter data? Let's say your company, your sales, your daily sales for your company, you guys are using sheets to enter your data. Let's say you're selling some products, you're selling bags of cement or whatsoever you are selling, and you are required to impute the number you sell every day, name of the customer, and let's say name of the customer, their details, their contact, and all of that. So that requires something that has rows and columns. Okay. So to define a spreadsheet, so this is when you know what kind of tool you use to enter the data. So as you know now, this one require rows and columns. So you are definitely required to use a spreadsheet, or if there's any other type of uh, another type of documentation tool that your company uses. It depends on your company and the one that they use. So now let us go to what is a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet is an electronic document in which data is arranged in the rows and columns of a grid and can be manipulated and used in calculations. Okay, so that is what a spreadsheet is. So example of a spreadsheet, like I said, we have something like Excel, we have Google Sheets, and there's Airtable, etc. Depending on, like I said, we have Excel, Microsoft Excel, we have Google Sheets, etc. So now let me show you guys what a sheet looks like, what Google Sheet looks like. Like I told you guys, we're focusing on Google Sheets. So for Google Sheets, to get Google Sheets, it's either you get it via the cloud, either you get the web version or you get the app. Now, to get the app, you just have to go to simply, if you're using your phone, most persons are asking, can we use a phone for this? Yes, you can use a phone 100% for this. So all you need to do is move over to Play Store, type Google, and you have it install it. So this is Google Sheet. You can see. Let me click on it. So this is Google Sheet. So it's opened. Now this is a new sheet. This is a new sheet. There is no recent. This is a new email, so the sheet is empty. There's nothing there. Now you must remember that for every email that you have, you can you have access to a sheet for every email. So you need to be sure of the email you are logged in with while creating something, so that in case if you have multiple emails, so that you can know how to trace something that you've done before. Okay, so this email is new. So now I'm going to click on the plus sign. I don't know if you can see the plus sign below. I don't know if you can see the plus sign below. Let me get something. I don't know if you can see the plus sign below. So this is the plus sign. This plus sign below. So you can see now this is the plus sign. All you need to do is click on it. Now it will ask you to choose a template. Template means that like they've already designed something, they've already done something that might be what you're looking for. So all you need to do is select which template that fits what you want to do and then edit it to your taste. But now we're going for a new spreadsheet. So let's click on a new spreadsheet. See it, a new spreadsheet. Let's click on it. So it opens and we have a new spreadsheet. Now, on this spreadsheet, remember that I gave an example. You guys, you work as a company that sells, let's say, cement, and you are required to enter into a spreadsheet or a database what you've done in a day. Okay, so let's name, first of all, these are columns. Now, what we call columns and rows, let me explain that. This is a column. This straight part is a column. Why this part like this is a row? I hope you understand that. The line, this is a column, and this is a row. Okay. So when someone says column A, when someone says column A, row 8, it means the person is trying to say you should go and find something that is on this column and row 8. Okay. So I hope you understand that. I hope you get what it means. So guys, let's just comment. Now, I'm going to create the headings for this. Let's say, look at here, we are using the phone now. So this is how you can also use it on your phone. This is the phone version. Maybe later we'll do it with a laptop, because the interface on laptop and phone aren't the same. So you just need to know the different interfaces. So this is a phone. So first of all, I'm going to like name this, let's say, name of customer. You can, it depends on how the format your company uses, email or phone number, depending on what, or contact. Let's just use phone contact, depending on what your company wants you to take of the customer. Phone number. So this is the phone number. Then you come here. Let's say bags. How many? Let's say how many bags purchased. How many bags or bags purchased? That's bags of cement purchased, bags of cement purchased, etc. Just like this. Now you need to differentiate. Then you click on the plus sign. I see the plus sign. See, after typing, you click on the plus sign. Sorry, you click on this like a good sign. Sorry, good sign, so that it retains what you have typed. If not, it might just leave. Now that we've done that, so I want to differentiate my headings from the body. Okay, so it's like, just like we know now, just like when you write in the school, whenever you are writing the whenever you're taking notes for a subject, you need to write the title. That's the subject of whatever you're writing, and it's always kind of bolder or bigger. So now we are going to do that. Now, let me explain these icons to you. This B means you want to make something bold. This A means it is called. This A means your font color. Font in this aspect means just like handwriting, the color that you want to write with. That's what it means. Now, this place means you are aligning something. You wrote something and you want it to be in the middle or in the left or whatsoever. Now, this place means your let's say your background color. Let's say a row, you want to color a row, you want to color a cell, you want to color a column. this is where you color the background. Okay, so I hope this common icons you understand it, please. Now now let us go. Now this place, please let us understand that. Just look at row 13, column A, row 13. This thing means a cell. Whenever you hear a cell, it means a cell. Something in this particular box. This particular box is called a cell. Cell, cell, cell. We'll talk about this. Now that we've done this, now that I've explained some of the basic things here, this is basic data entry. This is the basic data entry. Now that I've explained some of the things here, so remember that if you want to effect any change, you need to highlight if you have written something there. So now, how do I highlight? I simply clicked. I did mean it's a laptop. You can either do Control A or you use your mouse to highlight. Now, look at this place. I clicked here. If you see where I'm typing, and it automatically highlights. So let's do that. I'll just click here and it will highlight. As it has highlighted, any command I give to it, it will take effect on all of them. So I am going to bold this particular row, then change the font color to yellow, or let's say use red. Then let's do the background. Let's do the background color. I want it to be yellow. You see now, so I have made it different. Now I click on this good sign and it stays. You can see it now. Now don't mind this 1, 2, 3. It's when you start with your heading, it automatically differs. Like number one is out of it. So if you want to sort of look at the number, it might be misleading. So all you need to do, you can create another column that says, you can create another column that you can use as serial number and type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, just like here. Now you give it another heading and you make it 1, 2, 3 and all of that, just like this one. Okay, then you make it come to the middle. You align it to the middle. So now let's enter the name of the customer. Let's say the name of the customer is Ade. Let's say the name of the customer is Ade. So we okay. So let's enter the customer's name. Let's say the customer's name. Remember, this is where you type enter text or formula. Let's say the customer's name is Ade. So Ade, name of customer is Ade Olutayo. His phone number is blah 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 blah. Just type anything. Just type any number. We don't have a phone number, so we type this here. So this is bags cement. He bought 50 bags. Let's say 50 bags. So you have entered this. Then you can have a column for total price or total amount of what he has bought. You put it there. You can have a heading for that. You can put it in another column or whatsoever. So this is basically basic data entry. This is how you enter basic data into a spreadsheet. So the name of the spreadsheet we just talked about is Google Sheets. Google, then Sheets, SHEET, Google Sheet. So go to Play Store, download it, practice this, and we are going to have an assignment come up on this. Okay, so just do that. Thank you so much. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. It's important as a tech savvy, as someone venturing into tech, even if you're venturing into the softer part or the non-code tech part, it is important that you understand the basics of operating system. So today is going to be an introduction to simple operating system, like the basics of operating system is what we are going to be learning about today. So the first thing you ask, what is operating system? Simply, operating system is the program that after being initially loaded into the computer by a boot program, manages all the other applications programmed in a computer. Okay, so after it's that program that is being initially installed by a boot program, which then manages all other applications. So let me explain this in a simpler term. In a simple term, just know that an operating system is that program that is responsible for the total functionality of a computer. Okay, so a computer. So what does this mean? It means that I get a phone. Let's say I got a HP laptop, and I just have the hardware. Okay, now we know what hardware is. Okay, hardware is just the external features of your computer. Those things that you can touch are called the hardware. Now I get HP hardware, and there is no operating system program installed in it. If I should press the keyboard, there will be no response. I don't know if you understand. There is no operating system to coordinate, to manage any other application in this hardware. I don't know if you understand. I hope that explains it to you guys. So it is because there's an operating system. That's why when you give a command, something performs that command. Okay. I don't know if you understand that, but that's just the basic explanation of an operating system. It's simply that program that is responsible for the functionality of a computer. Let me just put it that way, okay? Now, we, as a tech savvy, as someone into the IT world, even if it's the non-coding IT aspect, a lot of clients, or let's as a virtual assistant, a lot of clients will require that you have certain type of version of an operating system. Okay, they require that. They have the reason they require that because most software applications might not be compatible with a lower version. So maybe by the time, let me explain the common types of operating system. I believe that will make it more understandable to us. So now, let's look at the common types. Common types of operating system that we see everywhere. I know you might you'll be hearing of Mac, you'll be hearing of Apple iOS, you'll be hearing of Windows, and you'll be hearing of Chrome OS or Linux, whichever one you, depends on the way you pronounce it. Okay, so these are like the common operating systems that we know about. Now, when I say OS, I mean when someone says to you, like when you have a system, or like say when you have a PC, and you might be seeing Windows, you might be seeing the Windows icon. It means that operating system in that computer or that laptop is Windows operating system. I don't know if you understand that. You might be seeing Windows on it. You see the Windows icon. Most HP laptops, Windows, they use Windows operating system. So you might be seeing the Windows icon. It means that particular computer is using a Windows operating system. I hope I hope you understand this with this explanation. Okay. Now, Windows, I'm going to explain the differences. Windows operating system, it's manufactured by Microsoft. It's a company. It's a product manufactured by Microsoft. I told you guys, Microsoft is a company. They are in the world of software applications. There are major companies that are very popular for producing a lot of software. Like example is you've heard of Microsoft, you heard of Google, you have Apple, etc. There are so many of them, but these are the very, very popular ones. So part of the products they produce, it's is operating system. Okay, so for Microsoft, they have the Windows operating system, which mainly functions on a laptop, on a PC. Okay, on a laptop. So now that is it for Windows. Now we have Mac. We have Mac OS. So it's an operating system that is developed by Apple, and this is mainly for desktops and laptops. Okay, I hope you understand that. So every Apple laptop or that you see has a Mac operating system, which is also developed by Apple. Okay. Now, another one is Apple iOS. That is an operating system developed by Apple for phones. Okay, so almost every Apple phone you see has the operating system called Apple iOS. Okay, so now operating system. When we talk about computers, it's not just the desktop and your laptop that is computers. Okay, phones uses computers. A lot of technological innovations uses computers. So that is Mac produced by Apple. Now we are talking about their mobile operating system called Apple iOS. Okay, so most Apple phone uses that. Most devices such as iPhone, iPad, and iPad Touch uses the Apple iOS. Okay, so I've talked about Windows operating system developed by Microsoft, which is for PCs and all of that. So now let us talk about Linux. So Linux is an operating system that is developed for PCs too, and for PCs or laptops as well. But the difference here is that Linux is an open source. Like, you can't tag the ownership to a particular, let's say, okay, different developers develop it. Different developers let me use the word edit, they develop and improve it. Different people. Unlike Windows, and that is owned by a specific company, which is Microsoft. Okay, so Linux is an open source. It's a type of operating. It's also an operating system. Okay. Now, for phone, let's say the most popular you might know is Android operating system. Now, Android is an operating system that is mainly for phones and is developed by Google. Okay, so Google developed Android operating system, which is for phones, and which is for phones, and most phones uses Android. Most phones are Android. Okay, that's why you hear this one is an Android phone. In as much as the hardware is produced by Techno, but you hear it's an Android phone because Android is a company. It's developed by Google, which Google is a software production company. Okay, I hope you understand that. So once again, an operating system is the software that directly manages the system's hardware and resources. That's another definition, like CPU, memory, and storage. Okay, so I hope you understand that. Now, it is advisable that you have whatever operating system you use. It's advisable that you use the latest version or the latest developed version of that operating system. Because most applications, most software applications might not, or most. Okay, let me use this example. When I was having a physical class, I had this student. My laptop was faulty, and I needed to record that class with the online students. So I begged that I use his laptop, and I observed that I couldn't record via Zoom. I couldn't record the class via Zoom. So I had to ask him, okay, what's your operating system? What's the version of your Windows? And he said Windows 7. Now, the reason why we couldn't record because he is using Windows 7. Now, why is that so? It is so because most of these softwares, most of these applications we use, they keep developing it and developing it. Okay, so probably Zoom developed the art of recording, and Windows 7. It is not, it's not compatible when you're using Windows 7. I don't know if you understand. My own Windows is 10. I don't want to upgrade to 11 yet. I'm okay with the 10 for now. because most applications, although 11 is faster, okay, but I'll do that in time. But for now, my own is 10. So we found out that we couldn't record our Zoom training because of his Windows, Windows 7 that he's using. So it's advisable that we always, at least, even if you don't have the latest, at least have the one before that one. Because there are so many improvements and so many things that have been developed that if you don't have that version, you might not be able to have access to them. Okay. So that is it. Now, while I'm talking about the importance of having either the latest or the one before the latest version, is that most clients, as a virtual assistant, most clients will tell you, they will write it boldly, that the least you should have is Windows 10. Okay? The least you should have is Windows 10 because they are faster than the other versions. So it is important that you understand this and understand why most people will request for Windows 10 upwards. Okay, so that you can be in line, or you can be well informed with what you are supposed to have before you start working as a virtual assistant. So that is just basically what we have today to explain this basic introduction, because you need to understand all of this. You need to understand that there are software companies, that there are different types of operating systems. It is produced by this, it is developed by this company, it is developed by the other company. Okay, so I hope we learned something today, and please stay tuned to this channel. We have more and more videos coming up. So please remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment on this video. Thank you so much for today. You can drop your questions in the comment section. If you have a question, if you see the questions, we will likely answer them all. And remember that this is the basic. This is just a lay explanation. There are so many deeper explanations to operating system, but we are not going very, very deep. You just have to have this basic knowledge and understanding of what operating system is. So that is the essence of this video, that we have the basic knowledge. It is very important. Thank you, guys. Bye. Hello. Okay. So before that, please, I want to beg you subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share our videos. Okay. So moving on to today's class, we are going to learn how to share these sheets you've created. Remember that yesterday, the other video, we learned how to create a spreadsheet. The essence of creating this spreadsheet is for you to enter your company's data, your own business data, whatever type of data you want it to be well documented, you can enter into that. And bear in mind that another advantage of having data or having information documented on a spreadsheet is that it is saved in the cloud. So we are going to learn about cloud storage later on, but I just want you to understand that it is safer because it's saved in the cloud. So long as you have access to the same email that you used to, that you created the sheet on, that you can always access it, even in the next 1 million years. Even if your phone gets lost, that's one good thing, or your device, your PC or whatsoever device you're using gets lost, you still have access to it. So that's one important thing about using spreadsheet for documentation. Unlike when you use a piece of paper, you could either lose it or something happens to it, and that detail and that data on it is gone. So today, you have created this sheet, you've entered this whole information. Now, the essence of creating this, in case your client or your boss gives you something to do, now you have done it. Let's say, because we are all working virtually, you are learning to become a virtual assistant. So virtually, your boss is not, clearly your boss is not in the same room with you or in the same house with you. So now you need to share this document across to him or her. The person could be in an entirely different continent from where you are. So how do you share it? Okay, now you've created it, you need to share it to your boss so that he or she can confirm what you have done. So we are going to learn how to share these files. There are many ways to share it, so I'm going to show you guys how to share. So we all know, if you attended yesterday's class, if you watched the other video, so you all know how to access a spreadsheet. So this is the app. I have the app, so this is what it looks like. Sheets, this is it. So now what I'm going to do now is click on it and it opens. So you guys, in the other video, I didn't have all these things there. So today I have a lot of things on my sheet. So I'm just going to click. Let's go back to the one that we used the other time. So this is the document that we worked on the other time. Okay, so someone asked a question, what if let's say your heading, what you typed here is way longer, like it's very, very long, and it goes way under behind. Don't worry, it's not entering in the next it's not in the next cell or the next column. It's not inside. It's there. But if you want to see it to the fullest, all you need to do is see the way I clicked up here, then touch this icon, this arrow, this arrow pointing to the left and to the right. So click on it and drag it down. It will make the particular row or column wider for you, to make the particular cell and automatically all the cells of the column, it will make it wider so that you can clearly see all that you have written on it. I hope that answers the question. So today you have created this for your client. Now, entering data, it depends on what your company is into. Okay, it depends on what your company is into. Then you enter the data into it. Now, so this is the sheet that we worked on yesterday. So let us share this sheet now with our client or whosoever it is. Remember to always click on this sign so that it saves automatically. So to share this sheet, look at this 3 dotted line, this 3 dot icon up here. Click on it. So when you click on it, now another thing I have to show you is how to name your sheet. You are working on something, you need to give it a name. So to give it a name now, it could be customers, it could be sales, let's say daily sales. You could name it daily sales sheet or whatsoever, daily sales sheet. You just name it according to what you are working. It has to be a name that when someone looks at it, okay, these are daily sales information and everything, okay? Or if your existing client has their own, like they have an existing protocol, they have a way they do things, you can follow suit and do it that way, okay? But generally, to name a sheet, you just have to name it according to the content, according to what you have there, okay, guys? So now, remember, let's go back to the 3 dotted line. So now you see the name here. Before it was untitled spreadsheet, now it is daily sales. So now just move over to share and export. I don't know if you can see it. This is it, share and export. So when you have gone to share and export, you click on this the arrow by the left hand, by the right hand side. So you can either click on share. When you have clicked on share, you can add people by email. Okay, there are 2 ways you share. Let me explain this before we type. There are 2 ways you can share. Let me explain 2 ways you can share this document you've created. Number 1, you can add the person via email, or you generate a link, a shareable link to this sheet, and share it to the people or to the person you want to share it with, so that they can have access to it. So now let's add someone via email. Okay, remember the 2 ways, via email or... So guys, as I was saying, so you just type in the email. So the 2 ways, via email and via generating a link, a shareable link, and send it to the person. So let's type in the email now. So let's just type in an email. So we're typing this email now. Now, another thing you need to understand while sharing a document is that you could make it in such a way that they will only have to view it or edit it. Now, if you give people editor access, they're automatically going to change everything in your document and put whatever they like. But if you make them only viewer, they can only view what is inside and cannot edit the content of the document. Okay, so now we're going to leave this as editor or anyone, but this is where you change the access. Look at this tiny, this one, this way you click on it, this black tiny arrow, that's where you click to change the access. So you can either make the person a viewer, a commenter, or an editor. Okay, so whichever one that you want. Now, if it's a client that gave you a job to do and you're done with doing the client's jobs, I think it's wise to make the person an editor as well, because they originally own it. You're just working for them. Okay, except you don't want to make the person an editor, but it's advisable in case they have corrections to give to you, they have changes to make to you, they can easily make the changes. Okay, so that is one of the ways you put the person's you put the email and then you give access. So it depends on you to select what kind of access you want to give, either an editor, commenter, or a viewer. Okay, viewer access. Please always remember this. If you send someone, let's say someone that's supposed to view it, or the someone that's supposed to edit it, and you give the person another access, it's going to, the person might not really like, because the person has to come and start requesting access to it. So you have to make sure that before you send something, you know what you really want to do. Okay, so the next one, we've talked about that. Now, you can add a little message, like maybe a descriptional message. Hi, this is a record. This is a record of my daily activities, okay? Of my daily activities, something like that. Just a little description. Hi, has to be a comma. This is, okay, just something like that, just so the person can just know. Now, when you are done with this, always remember, do not make someone an editor when you don't want. Please, this is very important, like super duper important. Else, they will just, finish your document for you. So now that we are done with this, all you need to do, look at this arrow to send it now. Look at this arrow up here, this one. So this arrow, this is where you click. You can even add more persons if you want. Just click by the side, type the email address, and you are good to go. Then you click here, and you see person added. So you have shared this with that person. That is via email. So you've done this via email. You've been able to share this to someone via email. Then there's something else I want to talk about. This whole the sheet idea is not just when you're working for someone, when you have a client. You can use it for your own personal businesses. You can use it to document things. You can use it to keep track of your let's say you have people that works for you. You can use it to keep track of what they do and sell or whatever they do for you. Now, the best way to do it is to make sure you are the one who created the sheet, so that you become the owner while they become an editor to that. So I think that's the best way to do it. So it's not just for working alone. You can use it for your day-to-day activities, for your business and whatsoever you are doing, okay? So you can use it to document things, save it in the cloud. In the next 100 days, it's there. Okay, guys, so let's go on the second way you can share your document, and that is via generating shareable link. So we'll go back to the same way we went before, the three dotted lines by the right. You click on it, share and export. You go there. Now you can go to copy link. Now this copy link, you are copying it straight away. If you copy it straight away, I think it's on default. On default, if you send this link across, people might not be able to access it, except those you have added via email. So you need to still give access. Whatever way you are sharing this document, whether via email, via link, you still need to give access. So let's say now, let's back, share and export again. Instead of us to click copy this link, tell us directly select this copy link. We just go to manage access. You can see the manage access, this manage to manage access. So let's click on manage access. So we have clicked on manage access. As you can see now, it is unrestricted. You can see it is unrestricted. So which means if I had copied this link and said to someone, it's restricted, the person will not be able to access this. The person will not be able to access this file, this document. So what I need to do now is change. Look here. See, change. I'll change the general access. Restricted. Only people added can open, meaning only people who've added via email can open this document. So what I need to do now is click on this arrow, this particular arrow. When I click on it, I will change it. If I want everyone that gets this link to have access to this document, if you want, you have to think if it's necessary or not before you give this access. So if by chance I want everyone to have access to this link, I'll just click on anyone with the link and change the access, okay? Change the general access. So they all can see it. They all can have access to it, but then you have to give them a role. So what do I mean by a role? Click on this viewer. Either you give them the role of a viewer, commenter, or editor. It all depends on you what you want them to do. The same way, if you if you give the role of an editor to this particular document, anybody that has access to the link can easily view this document, can easily edit this document, except you don't want everyone editing your document and all of that. Then you can make them, you can just keep it as a viewer. You can just give the role of a viewer to it, okay? So it all depends on you, on what you want. It all depends on you, on how you want people to either view, comment, or edit the document. So there's a lot of things you can do with spreadsheets. There's a whole lot. But then we are ending it here for today. So guys, so that is it. So here we come to the end of today's video. So I'm going to give an assignment. Please do this assignment. If you've watched yesterday's video, if you watched the other video and watched this video, you should be able to do this assignment perfectly. Now, it's the best way to practice what you've learned, and it will stick in faster. If you don't practice with sheets, you might easily forget what is there, okay? So I'm going to give an assignment. So you are going to have an imaginary, let me say the client now, Mr. Steven. We are going to use a general, like it's a client for everybody. Mr. Steven is your client. Now, Mr. Steven has a hotel, and he sends you details of people that have booked his hotel, their names randomly. He sends it to you randomly, and he wants you to impute it correctly into a sheet. So now, let me tell you guys what to do. So I want you guys to impute data of 50 customers, okay? 50 customers into a spreadsheet. Now, the names of the customers, you are going to formulate the name yourself. You are going to bring, enter 50 names, imaginary names of customers, 50 different names, okay? So the 50 names are Mr. Steven's guests, okay? Now, that is for column A. So on your column A, your heading should be customer's name, okay? Or guest name. Let's use, guest name. So you fill in 50 guest name in column A, fill in that column with 50 different guest name, okay? On each row, a guest has a name. Okay, let's say column A, row 1, there is a name. Let's say something like Gerard. Column A, row 2, you have something like Ade. Okay, different names, imaginary names. I leave it to you to get imaginary names and fill in there. Okay. Now, on column B, the title of the heading for column B should be number of nights. Now, number of nights means how many days these guests have spent. So let's say, for example, that your column A, let's say your column A, row 1, the name there is Gerard. Like I said before, let's say you have the name Gerard. So on column B, row 1 should be like Gerard has stayed for like 1 night. So let's keep for the number of nights, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 50. Okay, in each name you give to one. The first one should be 1 night, second one 2 nights, just in that order. So Gerard in column A, Gerard, guest name column A row 1 is Gerard. Number of nights that's column B row 1 is 1. Okay, now let us go to column C, phone number. Okay, enter an imaginary phone number for Gerard. Likewise, every other guest, all the rest of the 50 guests. Okay, so enter that. Now, column D is reservation number. Now, most times, each guest, these people, they have reservation number for each guest that comes in. So don't bother your head about that. I'm going to give us an imaginary reservation number. So for the first guest, which is Gerard, that is for the column D, row 1 should be, let's use this number in this order. So the reservation number for Gerard should be A 2023. Then the second guest, that is the row 2. Let's say Ade is the second guest, row 2. So for column D, row 2, it should be the reservation number should be B 2023. Okay, I don't know if you understand that, but this is very explanatory and it is not difficult to do. Okay, so that should be the reservation number, how it should go. Okay, reservation number for the first guest A 2023, for the second guest B 2023, for the third guest C 2023. Just use the A, B, C, D. Now we do not have up to 50 alphabets. When you get to the last alphabet, which is Z 2023, you start again 8 2020, or you can make it let's do this one. When you get to the end of Z, you do it A1 2023, okay, B1 2023, B2 2023, C3 2023, when we got to the end of the last alphabet. I hope this makes sense. If you do not understand better, please leave a comment on the comment section and I am going to explain better. So thank you guys for being with us today. Bye. Thank you guys. Please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. And also, importantly, subscribe to this channel.
Opening one restaurant in a year is hard enough.
this video. I am Marilyn Barrock. So please do subscribe, comment, subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, share and like the video. Please subscribe so that whenever we post a new video, you can get a notification about the videos. So today, in the other video, we did learn about Google Drive cloud storage, how to upload files to your Google Drive and the importance of Google Drive. So today we are going to look at how to create a folder, how to also share this file. Now, creating a folder, it's an easier way to sort of put all the things you've done in one place and just generate a shareable link or add someone to the folder so they can easily access everything you've done in one place. For example, your client gives you jobs to do. It gives you different jobs to do, and you have to submit it, let's say, at the weekend. Now, it is more advisable to arrange or make sure that all the things you've done for this client is in one folder so that he can access it in one place. Instead of sending it one after the other, it could be a bit messy. So it's advisable to create a folder whereby you can put in all the works you have done. Now, another importance of having a folder is that it could be your portfolio. It could be your career portfolio, your business portfolio. For example, in it, you have your CV. In a folder, you have all the samples of jobs you've done. Let's say you're a graphic designer. You have samples of jobs you designed for people in the past, and you document them all in a particular folder instead of sending it one after the other. Although there are other platforms you can use to create a portfolio, but this is just like an example of what you can do with Drive. Now, if you're a business person, this could also help you. Let's say you sell different clothes and all of that, and you don't have a website. This is another way to make it easier for people. Let's say people chat you up, and let's say you are discussing with them via WhatsApp. Instead of sending these products to them one after the other, let's say different pictures of clothes that you have available or shoes, instead of sending the pictures one after the other, you can just put them all in a folder, in a Drive folder, and just generate a link to it and share to your customers with the prices on each of the pictures. I think it's more better, more arranged, and very good for you. Okay. Now you're a student, and let's say you're a student and you're writing a project. Instead of you to start the project, instead of you to like chapter 1 is in, let's say you've written it on Google Docs or you've used Microsoft Word. Instead of you to sort of each idea that you write or something like that, that's a different part of the project you are doing. Let's say you're doing different projects at the same time. So instead of you to like have them scattered all over the place, you can just add them all to a folder and know that these are the different projects you've worked on. I don't know if this is on this, if this explains it better, but it's a way of organizing what you have done. Okay, so let's say you have a company. Another importance of creating this folder. Let's say you have a company, and in that company you have your employees' rules and regulations. You have the customer service procedure. Let's say how you attend to customers. Let's say you have different things. Let's say you onboard new members. Instead of sending these things to them one after the other, you can just put them all in a folder. You understand? Put them all in a folder and send to them so they can easily access them and know what is this instead of sending them one after the other. So that's just an explanation of how a folder can help you organize what you do. So quickly, let's move ahead and create this folder. So to create the folder, this is my Drive. I'll just have to click on my Drive. Once I click on it, I am going to click on the plus sign as usual. Let me show you guys the normal plus sign as usual. I'm going to click on it.
My papa fix cell, press phone, collect POS. Payment. Okay, that's star 955 star 131 hash. We no fear for this our hustle life. Now all pay with the people payment shield.
The plus sign. Excuse me. So I'm going to click on this plus sign, as usual, this plus sign. So I've clicked on it now. I'll go to folder. Now, let me explain these things. Why you are seeing Google Docs here, and why you are seeing Google Sheets, and why you are seeing Google Slides. So this simply means that you can access other Google products even while on your drive, okay? So you can access them here. So let's go to what we have for today. Remember, we've clicked on the plus icon, so now we're going to folder. Okay, we click on folder. Now you can name your folder, okay? Give a name to your folder. Give a name to your folder. Let's say the name is projects or something like that. Just name it projects and you create. Okay, and you click on create. So we have a folder now. You see it's projects. This is it. Now this is the folder. This is the folder. This is the folder projects. So you see it here. This is its folder projects. So we have a folder here which is called projects. So what am I gonna do now? I will just click something else. So I want to add something to this folder. What do? I'll just click on the three little dot line. This one here. Click on it. It's empty. So how do I add something to it? The same way. Click on the plus sign, the plus icon. I'll click on it. Then upload. I'll click on upload. Then I can select anything that I want. Let's say I select this, and it automatically loads into this folder. So that is how you are going to upload anything you want into this folder. Okay, upload it on the folder. Upload videos, pictures, whatever it is. Upload it to the folder. Then you can now generate a general link to that folder and share. I don't know if this makes sense. You can now generate a link to that folder and share. Okay, so I don't know if this makes sense to us, but that is basically what it is. So now on this particular folder, let us share it. I click on this. I can either share it by adding email, by adding someone's email, or copy a link to it. So let's say I want to share. I can just add an email here. After adding, remember you give edit. If you've been following our videos, we talked about how to add someone and how to assign a role to someone and give the person access. So you just add your email here, then click on this arrow. By the time you've added the valid email, it's going to highlight, it's going to be clickable. So you add the email of the person here and share with the person. Now, if you don't want to share it via email, you can copy the link. Click on this, copy this link. This is copy link. You can copy this link here. But before you copy this link, please manage access. Managing access means change, like now, is restricted. If I am to copy that link and send to someone who I haven't added via email, the person automatically will not have access. So you remember to give access to this person. If you want to learn how you can give access and roles on any of the Google documents, please watch our previous videos. You're going to see how we did that. So now we have given access. Now, that is how you give access to someone to a particular folder. Okay, let's say you want to share a particular, remember this is a folder on its own. Inside this folder, you have different types of documents inside already. So let's say you want to, then if you've uploaded something single into your drive and you want to share it, it's still pretty much the same way. Click on the three dotted line, the three dotted sort of line beside whatever document it is, and click on share, add via email, or you copy link. But remember to also give access and all of that. So guys, if you've been following us, if you've been following this training, if you're following our channel and following all our videos, and you'll be going through all our videos, by now you must have done so many tests that we gave during with Google Sheets, Google Docs, and all of that. So if you've done any of these texts, I want you to add them all into a folder, create a folder, and add all of these tests or assignments you've done into it. And add them all of them, so you have them all in one place. Okay, so thank you guys for being with us in this video today. Please subscribe to this channel so that whenever we post more and more educating videos, you can get notified immediately. You'll be among the first people to get notified about the videos. Please remember to comment, share, and like, or to remember to comment, share, and like this video. Thank you so much.